We can only press onward and ever onward until we reach the northernmost point of this planet. A place that may very well be the end of our journey.
Most of 2023 has been somewhat disappointing for the MMORPG genre. Is December going to be different? Will something release that actually captivates us make us leave our favorite MMO for even just a few weeks? Honestly, maybe. This is probably one of the better looking months this year in terms of new releases, both beta tests, play tests, or full releases. December features 6 playable MMOs on PC. Most importantly, I'll be streaming over on Twitch at 3 PM EST every weekend. So, you should come on over, join me, and the MMO fun, as I'll be streaming at least one of these, just like I did with Perfect New World and Tarisland. Otherwise, if you enjoy staying up to date with what's releasing, and more specifically this series, make sure to like the video, leave a comment telling me what MMO you're most looking forward to, subscribe to the channel, and hit the little bell notification. And make sure to check out the last episode in this series at the end of this video in case you missed an MMO last month. Trust me, with how little marketing a lot of these games do, you're really gonna want to make sure that you don't miss that. Now, let's go ahead, jump in, and see if we can't find something for you to waste the next month in. Let's kickstart this off with arguably December's biggest release, Throne and Liberty. This is an MMO we've all been waiting nearly a decade for, and admittedly, we'll still have to wait a little longer for as Western players, or at least for an English release. As well, Throne and Liberty is confirmed for a December 7th release, that is specifically for Korean players. I don't believe there are going to be IP restrictions in place that inhibit us from accessing the game, so if you're curious like I, and I'm sure many of you are, downloading and installing it in Korean should work. Worst case scenario, VPN. Throne and Liberty is an open world tab target MMORPG with a lot of potential. They've made a lot of mistakes, and many players are cautious about investing time or money into it, given what we've seen and heard, but this is one of the only major MMO releases left of 2023. Pre-registration is currently open for those of you that are interested in the pre-registration rewards. On December 16th, Corppunk will be holding their latest beta test. There will be absolutely no NDA present, which means that we can record, we can stream, and we can share footage of the game. I want to point out that the Corppunk team reached out to me and offered me exclusive access to test the game out, and I agreed to the access as I've been very excited for the game since it was first announced a few years ago. Corppunk is a top-down isometric MMORPG with action combat akin to Path of Exile. Think of a unique amalgamation of Path of Exile and Lost Ark. I'd strongly urge you to navigate on over to their official website and attempt to apply for the upcoming beta if you're interested in trying it out, as the test phase will run from December 16th through December 20th. An early access was confirmed for December 2023. However, I haven't heard anything on that in the last few months, so it might have been delayed while they're running the final tests. Before we go any further into the remainder of what we have to look forward to, let me take a moment here to thank my incredible patrons over on Patreon. You guys allow for me to continue to do regular videos like this every single week. Earlier today, I learned about an upcoming MMO called Monsters and Memories. Judging from what I've read online, there are some people out there that are actually very excited for it. More so than a lot of other indie MMOs anyway. Monsters and Memories utilizes a subscription-based model, which means that you're required to pay a monthly fee to log in and play, much like in World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy XIV. According to the devs, the game is roughly 70% of the way to their proof of concept goal, with a confirmed major playtest happening in December. A short stress test was held on November 11th, with numerous images and videos of the test being circulated online. It is unconfirmed when during December the playtest will be held, but it does seem as though the test will be open to the public. Monsters and Memories will be fully open world with dozens of classes, races, and is aimed at being a throwback to when MMOs were a little bit more social. Sky Children of the Light confirmed several months ago that the game would be releasing onto PC in 2023, which means that realistically they have until the end of December to fully launch. Yet, we also haven't been given any update on when during December that release will be, or if they're in the process of suffering a delay. This was a mobile MMO first, but is arguably one of, if not the highest quality mobile MMO that you'll find right now. Porting the game to PC is a great next step, as even more people will be able to appreciate and enjoy it. If you're a fan of EVE Online, then admittedly you might not necessarily enjoy EVE Vanguard, an innovative new FPS module that is connected to the EVE universe. According to the website, EVE Vanguard is a persistent, highly customizable, and deeply social MMO FPS, which will introduce an intense new experience to PvE. Players will be able to enjoy high-action gameplay both solo or with other players. Both EVE Online and EVE Vanguard will be connected. Honestly, I do think the game looks really good. From what I've seen and from what I've read, it seems fairly, but not entirely, open world. They're holding a playtest beginning December 7th and lasting for an undisclosed duration. You can sign up for the playtest via their website if you're interested. And finally, Arvita is a hardcore fantasy MMORPG with an emphasis on social communities, crafting, party combat, territory capture, and player-verse developer. Yes, you heard that correctly. That's a term I didn't even know existed in MMOs, PvD. Arvita was originally called Asteria, and in retrospect, might have covered this at one point in the past. It's hard to remember. These indie MMOs, they'll kind of look the same, and they'll come up with the most generic fantasy names. Asteria, Isteria, yes, they're two indie MMOs, and the only difference in their names is their first letter. Arvita, which kind of sounds like a brand of cheese like Velveeta, is currently in early access, with a confirmed release date slated for 4th quarter 2023. According to the Steam page, but I wouldn't bank on it being an MMO that really pulls you away from whatever you're currently playing, or wouldn't bank on it even releasing in December 2023. And that is everything. All the MMOs slated to release either fully or into some form of test phase this month, at least that I'm aware of. I probably missed one or two. It's bound to happen with more obscure titles. Nevertheless, these are the main games that I have been following. Throne of Liberty will finally be playable for everyone, so we can gauge if it's yet another failed NCSoft MMO or not. Corppunk looks so good and I can't wait to play it. Monsters and Memories definitely has some potential. Sky Children of the Light was a very fun experience for me when I played it 2 years ago. EVE Vanguard looks like a ton of fun if you're into FPS games. And Arvita, well, you know what, there always has to be one dud, right? Overall, probably one of the better looking months of 2023, and we desperately need a good month. This isn't all there is to look forward to though, because if none of those games are games you'd be interested in, I urge you to check out one of these two videos on screen right now.